My name is Luana, and my life has been devastated by abortion. My first abortion was when I was 17 years old, and when I think about it, it's like it happened yesterday. I remember feeling so hopeless and desperate and not knowing what to do, like I had no other choices. So I chose abortion, and I remember going into the abortion facility and feeling scared, and them telling me that it was not a baby, it was just a blob of tissue, and that it would be easier to abort this child than to carry it to term. And so I was only 17, and they were professionals, so I listened to what they had to say, and I had an abortion that day. And I remember laying on the table, and it was cold, and I was scared, and it was extremely painful. And I remember hearing the suction of the sound of the machine, and hearing it be really labored, and thinking, what is that sound? What is going through that machine? I kept trying to get up and look to see what was in that jar that was next to me. Was it a baby? Was it my baby? And they quickly pushed me down and told me not to look in that jar. And as soon as the procedure was over, they wheeled that jar out of the room so that I couldn't see if it was my baby or not. And then when the procedure was over with, they told me that I could go home, and after I had juice and cookies in 20 minutes, if I felt okay, I could go home. I never did feel okay, but I wanted out of there, so I got out as quickly as I could. And I remember the drive home that day. I was bleeding profusely, and I was in extreme pain. So when I got home, I called the facility back, and they told me that I was not their problem, that I needed to call my doctor. I laid there that day and wondered if I would die. And a part of me did die that day. I was different. I was changed. I began to drink. I began to do drugs. I became very depressed and sad, and life was different. I hated myself so much. I had so much self-hatred that I started sleeping with anyone and everyone because I thought, surely there had to be somebody who would love me. And so if I gave them myself, maybe they would have a reason to love me. And so life started a spiral that was absolutely crazy. And because of my promiscuity, I was pregnant 2 more times, and I chose abortion both of those times. My life was spinning out of control. And by the time the third abortion had taken place, suicide was very prevalent, and I wanted to just kill myself. But thank God I didn't, and He had a different plan for my life. I came to know the Lord, and my life changed. It truly took on an entirely different aspect, and I met a man, and I got married. I met a man who loved me, and I got married, and we served the Lord, and we wanted to start a family. But because of those abortions, I could not have children. The suction from the abortions literally sucked my tubes down flat and rendered me infertile. And so I was unable to have children because of those abortions. But God is still a good God, and my husband and I adopted a child from India. And God gave me new life. And I thank the Lord for how He has renewed me and restored me, and what He has given me. And I now have a son who's 21 years old, and my husband and I are very happy. But I want women who are looking into this choice to know that there are other choices. You do not have to destroy your life by abortion. It is a baby. My child had fingerprints. My child had toes. My child could suck her thumb. It is a baby, and God has a plan for your child's life. I hope you choose life today. This is my family. My son Zachary is now in the Air Force. And I thank you for listening today. And I will pray that you will choose the plans God has for your life. Thank you.